Welcome back, everyone. If you are new here, then thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoy it. For those of you that support me all over on TikTok and other platforms, thank you as well for watching. I'm Michael, as you already know, and this video is going to be about states of consciousness and how to enter states. And it's all going to be just focused around that because I know a lot of people are confused about states. That being said, of course, you know every video, I get it out of the way. If you need coaching or you need help figuring things out for yourself and you're just not sure what to do, then of course I'm here for you. Do you need coaching in order to manifest? The answer is no. I tell people all the time, it's not a prerequisite in order to be successful. What is successful is you actually applying the law. If you truly want to learn the law, your best bet is to study the books, read as much as you can, reread for years and years. Don't just read a book once and say, okay, I've done it. No. Read all the time, guys. Study all the time. Take notes. Contemplate what you're reading. And on top of that, then, of course, feel free to watch YouTube videos, TikTok, and stuff like that. But if you can afford the luxury and you want to save time, that's what coaching is for. So other than that, enjoy the show. I hope you guys like it. And if you are inspired or enjoyed the information, then like it as well, please. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much. And once I finally get 1,000+ people and 4,000 hours of watch time, which is, to be honest, we're not that far away from all of that. I'm going to be able to do lives here on YouTube. So the quicker we get that done, the faster I can start doing lives here, because eventually I want to have even more of a presence on YouTube. But that being said, let's just get into the video now. So states of consciousness. What are states? States of consciousness are just that. It's a state of consciousness. It is a state that you are aware of. In other words, it's a bunch of facts that you have accepted, right? So right now, I know for a fact what I make in a day on average, or what I made today so far, right? Like right now, it's what? It's 3 o'clock or 3:10 p.m. So I know exactly what I made leading up to this time and moment, and I know that I'm going to make more money passively down the road from other things. But, right now I have an awareness that I've made a certain amount up until 3:10 p.m., right? I'm aware of, what's in my parking lot. I'm aware of what is over my head. In other words, this roof. I'm aware that I'm in a spare room that I record videos in. I'm aware that I have a German Shepherd. I'm aware of so many things, right? These things are all just states of consciousness, right? I'm aware that I know the law. I'm aware that I teach, the law on social media. I'm aware that I've been doing it for a while, right? So that being said, these are all states. These are all facts I've accepted, right? So let's say now I want to manifest something that I don't have as a fact. So everything I listed was a fact, right? That being said, now I want to manifest something that is not a fact currently. So let's say money as an example, right? I want to be wealthy and I want to spend money. And, this is something that actually relates to me because a long time ago, I used to have money issues. It was horrible. And now I'm in a point where I can't remember the last time that I had to worry about grocery bills or looking at the prices. I still remember going to whatever, Walmart or whatever grocery store and looking for things on sale. And if it didn't have a sticker that showed it was on sale, I wouldn't even look at it because I had to budget myself. Trust me, it was crazy. So in that moment, I had to start feeling wealthy, right? So when you're in shoes like that and you need money, and you understand the law works, but you don't really know like how it's gonna work or this or that, it's okay. You just put your trust in your higher self. It's gonna figure it out. Your job is to be faithful to the new assumptions, the new stories, the new facts. In other words, the new state, right? And when you understand that if you can start focusing on feeling abundant, feeling wealthy, and no matter what happens in your 3D, you understand that your 3D world is going to change for the better because you are now returning to the new facts of life, the new states of consciousness, right? Like I mentioned earlier, I know what's over my head. I know what kind of dog I have. I know my bank account. I know what I made today. I know who I can text and who's going to respond right away. These are all states of consciousness. These are things I've accepted, right? And that's how you got to look at it. You got to start looking at things that you want as things that you've already accepted within, as things that you already have, not out here in your fake dead world. It's not about convincing yourself that something is right here in front of our eyes. It's not about that. It's about understanding that what you do within yourself, right, and what you feel true of yourself, what facts you've accepted, puts you into a state. So in that moment when I was manifesting money as an example, right, and we'll get into SPs as well, but when I was manifesting money, I noticed that every time I thought about money and I felt good, over time, it made its way to me, right? And it was hot and cold because I was hot and cold. I was literally feeling fulfilled here and there for a couple days, and then boom, the cold hits, and then I start feeling lack and this and that and doubting. And it was like that at the beginning for me, right? Of course. And lucky for me, my first two biggest manifestations came very fast, and I didn't have much time to doubt. But as I got more experienced, it didn't make things easier, to be honest, because the more knowledge I had, the more I wanted to test things out. So, ignorance truly is bliss, because when I learned of the law, right, I just knew that I had to feel like I had something in order for me to receive it. And for me, feeling that I had something was gratitude. That was the main thing I returned to, right? So I was being grateful for something I could not see. How could I be grateful for something I don't have? By accepting a new fact. And that circles back to the start of the video. It's accepting a new fact. Every time you enter a new state, it's because in that moment you have accepted a new fact. Yes, that fact is temporary, within you. It's not going to be a permanent fact yet, but it's about returning to that new fact. It's about understanding that if I can accept something is done within, then it has to be given to me outside of me. In other words, in my 3D. And knowing this puts me in a mood of just straight power, of just this, I can't explain it. It's like this knowing, it's this certain feeling, it's a certainty. And it's an excitement at the same time mixed with some gratitude, right? So every time I think about this, it's like, oh my God, all I gotta do is feel like I have it and I'll get it. That's amazing, right? So that's how I look at things. So if I want an SP, right? Yes, I'm single now. And if I want a certain SP, my job is to say, okay, I have to start feeling like I'm in a relationship, not just in one, but with her. How would I actually feel if I was with her? And then when I ask myself this question, I'm now contemplating, I'm seeing myself in my mind, whether it's us holding hands or us, cuddling on the couch. It's me planning a date and telling her everything has been reserved, that we're going to the mall, we're going to pick out her favorite dress, and I want to get her a new outfit so she can feel pretty and I can show her off, right? Like I know that makes her happy if so that is me, like, contemplating all these things is getting, even though I don't have anyone in mind, it's getting me excited. Like, I'm actually feeling a shift in my state, right? I'm feeling grateful and excited and joy, kind of like going on a first date, right? And right then and there, I'm in a different state. And, I was literally looking at life through the eyes of planning things, right? As I was discussing that example, right? And my eyes open. I didn't have to close my eyes and meditate and do all that. I did it eyes open while talking. And it's that easy to use your imagination, right? So I used my imagination. I contemplated doing that. And because I was contemplating doing that, and I know from experience that my inner world is reality, it's easy for me to feel grateful because I understand my inside, what I do within myself is the number one priority. It is the thing that I have to focus on. And, when I'm able to accept facts that aren't truly facts in my 3D, but to me, they're facts within myself, that's what matters more, because that is what tells my subconscious mind who I am. It is me commanding the I am within me. It's me saying, this is who I say I am. So whatever I say after I am, it's me commanding, right? It's me commanding God, the source, whatever it is. It's me saying who I am, right? And because I say this is who I am, if I return to that over and over and over again, it's going to be my experience in my 3D. So it's all about accepting a fact. And for me, it's easy to accept a new fact because I understand through my studies, right? This is why I tell everyone, you don't need coaching, but study if you're not going to get any coaching, right? And trust me, you really don't need to spend money. Yes, it's going to take some time for you to study and read a book here and there and so on, but trust me, it's worth it. A small sacrifice for like a few weeks is going to pay off a lifetime in dividends, okay, guys? So that's why I say if you're not getting any coaching, and not even from me, just from other people, it doesn't matter who you get it from, right? As long as it's a good source. If you're not getting it from a good source, then do your best to study, because studying leads you to these conclusions, right? It's not like I had to hire someone to tell me this, right? Back, when I was starting, there was no reputable people. There's nothing you can go to, right? I just studied the sources because in my head, it's like, why would I go to someone, instead of studying the sources as well, right? So, the community isn't as big as it is now, but still, it's like, in my head, it was a no-brainer. It's like, I'll just study this guy first, and then once I have a foundation, I'm then going to apply it. And then, thankfully, to my foundation that I've studied and I spent a lot of time studying, right, it allowed me to filter out, like, what information I should take and what information is not really true, right? And that's why I preach study, guys. Like, feel free, go on Amazon, right? I'm actually gonna talk to the guy that sells this, the company that sells this, because I've sent so many people that way and given them so many so much business. I'm gonna see if I can get us like a type of discount code or something. But go on Amazon and type in Neville Goddard, The Complete Reader. At least start with that. It has all his books compiled into one big book. When you start studying the law, you will realize everything is consciousness. Everything is based on what you believe. So when you understand that your inner world, when you accept something, and especially if you return to that acceptance over and over again, you are able to then, in other words, accept a new identity. So if I wanted to manifest an SP, right, and right now I'm single, my job is to, when I think of her, I'm going to accept a new fact that, yes, I know I don't have her in my 3D reality, but I know by feeling like I have her and by accepting the fact that I have her within, right, that is going to cause her to be mine without. In other words, in my 3D. So why would I do anything outside here when it's all in here? It's all in here, guys. So understand, it's all about your acceptance. What are you choosing to take as fact, right? And what are you accepting and what are you saying no to, right? That's why, I released a video on TikTok talking about actually choosing what you react to, practicing choosing to react as the person who has it. So moving forward, I did a technique for the SP and I'm feeling great. Good. Boom. 10 seconds. Now I'm back to my neutral state. I'm walking regular. Maybe 20 minutes from now, I'm going to start, wondering where she is or this or that, or some doubt's going to pop up. I understand. It just means I slipped into a negative state. That's okay. It's a state that's spawning these thoughts. I don't have to worry. I'm going to instead become an observer, guys, right? I'm going to observe what all this is, right? What is this thought? Is it true? No. Why is it not true? Because I say so. And I start going through it, right? I'm the creator of my reality. I'm the one that runs this show. I am the one who decides what is fact. If I don't accept this negative thing as a fact, then therefore I can't enter a negative state for longer. I can't stay in a negative state for longer, I should say, right? And, it's easy for you. Sometimes you'll find yourself in like a not a positive state and not a neutral, but it's closer to negative. In other words, like you don't really feel bad, but you're now having bad thoughts. You can actually go deeper into the negative. Like you can notice that there's levels to negativity, right? So, instead of digging yourself a hole and then accepting this as fact, and now the anxiety comes and now your body's physically reacting, right? It's the same thing. When you accept a fact that you have something that you physically know you don't, but you do it from the understanding that whatever it is that you do within yourself is going to be the thing that reflects. And all you have to do is consistently feel like you have it more than you feel that you don't, right? That's all you do. It's not just enough, in my opinion, by the way. I don't want anyone getting upset. It's just my opinion. It's not just enough for those that want fast results to just contemplate and to just think of their desire. Because think about it. Thinking of your desire doesn't mean you are the one that has it. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get it. How many people contemplate about a better life? How many kids contemplate about having all their desires? How many people all the time contemplate about being with their specific person? But they don't embody it. They never end up with that person, right? So understand, it's all up to you guys. You have to decide, what are you going to accept as true, or as fact, I should say. What are you going to accept true of yourself? Are you going to look at the facts of life and then say, oh no, it's not what I wanted, so I'm going to feel bad about it? In other words, I'm going to accept it and accept that I'm a victim. And the answer is no, right? You guys are instead going to be looking at your outside world, I guess you could call it, and you're going to be understanding. And please make the habit. And this is why I preach studying. But understand that when you're looking at that negative thing in your life right now, whatever it is, whether it's physically that you're looking at it or actually in your mind, understand that point in time is a fork in the road that you are standing at. You get to choose. Am I going to go left, which is accepting the negative, and then, in other words, I'm going to react to the negative and I'm going to feel bad and so on and so on? Or are you going to go to the right, which is this side over here, and at least for me, and it's going to be the opposite. In other words, fulfillment is the best word I can use to describe it. It's just fulfillment, right? It's acceptance of the new fact. And when you accept this new fact, you can start feeling grateful for it. You can start feeling happy about it. You can start being excited about it, right? And it's not about being excited because you have it now. It's about being excited because you are going to get it in your 3D. Why? Because you understand by feeling like you have something and accepting that new fact of your life and going back to that state of consciousness of being the one who has their desire, and how whatever way you identify with it, that is going to cause not only for it to reflect, but it's going to change your self-concept. And that's when things start changing, right? And that's when you start noticing things get become fun. And that's why, for me, I tell you guys, manifesting is easy. It's so fun, guys. It's just our logical mind combined with lack of knowledge creates the perfect storm, right? If you guys studied and you guys truly took, like, made the effort, me personally, I went crazy with this. It's like I was studying minimums like 6 hours a day when I first discovered the law of assumption. It was written so, like, it was so interesting to me that it was like, how could I not study this? This is like the key to life. And I thought to myself, look at all this bad in my life. I have this thing and this problem and that problem and this and that and da-da-da, right? And I'm thinking to myself, this can solve it all. Like, in my brain, it was so logical. Like, why would I not want to study? Why would I not want to learn the most? And it didn't even occur to me to, like, go on social media or go do this or go wherever, right? Like, to go on whatever website at the time was available. It doesn't matter. It never occurred to me to seek a source outside of the original sources, right? I just knew I'm going to study, and this is going to make more sense. And the more knowledge I have, the more I can apply it. And the more I can apply it, the better life I can get. So for me, it was like, I was willingly studying 6+ hours a day. I would just go to work, and then I spend the rest of the day and night just studying, listening to lectures, taking notes, and looking at patterns of, like, how things are, right? So I would always notice, okay, I noticed a pattern. Always being discussed is, what the 3D is. It's the past, and how our inner world is the thing that reflects. So logically, that these things all tell me it's the inside world that reflects, right? So logically, why would I focus on anything out here when I can focus on in here, on what's in here, what's in my mind, right? So understand, your states of consciousness is just a decision. It's what are you choosing to accept as a fact in this present moment. And that's what you have to understand. It's what are you choosing to believe of yourself in the moment that you're thinking of your desire, right? If you want an SP, focus on having them the moment you think about them. Be grateful for them. Feel excited that you get to go on dates, right? Understand that it's not about convincing yourself that you have something in your 3D. It's about knowing that you are in control, and because you are focusing on your inner world, it means that your outside world has to change. And it's all about changing yourself. What you dominantly experience within is the thing that is going to become the habit for you. And when that feeling of fulfillment, that knowing that it's yours, in other words, you're returning to the new fact, right? That is what then solidifies that belief. It's what makes mental diet easier. So understand, it's all a choice. States of consciousness is a choice. What are you going to choose to accept of yourself? Are you going to choose that this is just your life and that you're a victim? If so, I would not be surprised if you have feelings of anxiety, you feel stuck, and this and that. Or are you going to understand you've never given yourself a full shot? You've never been fully disciplined. So why not give it a try? Try to be as disciplined as you can. It doesn't mean force things. A lot of people think that when I say discipline or someone says discipline, it means force. It's not about force. It's about understanding. Catch yourself in the fork of the road. Every time you're in that fork where you go left or right, choose fulfillment, okay? Choose the thing that's going to serve you the best. Always walk within the back of your head knowing that your inner world is your number one priority and should be. Why? Because it is what reflects. And if it is what reflects, then you understand there is 0% benefit in focusing on the outside world. And because there's 0% benefit focusing on the outside world, because your inside world is what reflects, then you can walk in peace and smile because you can choose to feel bliss and heaven within yourself at any moment in time. So there is nothing to fear. The only reason you are afraid is, one, lack of knowledge, and two, you just haven't been accepting the law, right? On top of that, when you truly accept that your inner world is your priority, you're going to notice your anxiety goes away. When you fully accept this, you are going to understand the true meaning of peace. Because how can you be bothered? How can you be upset? How can you be in a state of lack or fear or worrying that you're not good enough when you are making the habit of accepting the new facts that you are the creator, that you are the one that reflects everything from within, that your inner world is your priority? And that is what I want you guys to take from this video. It's a choice. At any moment in time, you can choose to feel wealthy. If you tell me the answer is no to that, like, oh no, I can't feel wealthy whenever I want, I'm telling you, it's the best word I can use is just called spoiled. You have a spoiled mind, you know. And I don't say that with like anger or with hate. It's just it's like a kid, right? If you don't discipline your kid's gonna grow up to be like those people that you know they destroy everything. Like, you know, like you see those kids sometimes, at least you see them in movies, they're destroying stuff in grocery stores. They're slamming things on the ground. They're throwing tantrums because you're not getting them their favorite game, all that crap, right? So, you know, that's what your brain is when you let it control you. When you practice control of taming your mind, you can choose to accept any fact you want in any moment. Right now, as I'm speaking, I'll show you how easy it is. I'm going to think of someone in my life that even though I don't have any feelings for them, I'm going to contemplate just being in a relationship with them. They're on my mind right now. As I look into my camera, they are on my mind. Literally, like I can kind of, it's weird. Like it's like somewhere here. It's so weird. Like I can even kind of feel where they are, but it's in my mind, right? And I'm thinking of them. And as I'm speaking, eyes open, just to show you how easy it is. No need to meditate or close your eyes and all that stuff, right? I'm going to accept that they're mine. And just now, as I said the word accept, I instantly felt something just shoot right down like my body, right? In other words, I felt like this release. It's like this little like kind of like joy kind of thing, because for a moment in time, I've accepted that they were mine. And the back of my head, because of so much repetition I have from understanding that it's my inside world that reflects, I can feel grateful for it, even though I don't want it. Why? Because I know that if I continue doing this, I will get them. I can choose to manifest whatever I want. I can choose to have whoever I want, right? So it's the same concept. You can do the same thing. So accept it. It doesn't have to be this process where you got to now sit down and dedicate 20 minutes to putting on certain music like brown noise or something, or pink noise or whatever noise, and then putting on something in the background on top of that, and then sitting down and lighting candles and doing this crazy process. It's nothing about that, guys. It's simply about understanding your inner world is what is going to reflect. So if you understand and accept this one fact, then you realize there is logically 0% benefit in focusing anything outside of that. And therefore, it's easy to understand that you can feel grateful for things not yet seen, because you know that your inner world is going to have to reflect this outwards. And therefore, it's easy to be in the state of the wish fulfilled, because all you have to do is accept a new fact temporarily in every moment that you think about it and return to it. And by doing this, it becomes a habit, and you will find that your mind will start doing this for you. It will start mental dieting for you. You are just creating the habit of taking conscious control of your mind. That's all it is, guys, okay? So I hope this video was enjoyable for you guys. I know a lot of you guys listen to this when you're working out or you're going for walks or driving. So, you know, I do my best to keep these a little longer, so you at least have, you know, it gets you to what you need or where you need to be if you're driving and stuff. So I appreciate you guys listening to me rant. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm going to make more content like this. This is a topic alone that I could speak on from 1,000 different angles, with millions and probably infinite different examples, to be honest. So expect more videos like this, especially regarding states, because states is not something I can condense into an 8-hour video. I need years in order to do that. So trust me, guys, I could talk about this topic alone forever. So anyways, if you enjoyed it, please hit that like, so therefore it spreads to other people and helps other people find me. So the same way that you're grateful that you found me, by clicking like, you allow other people to get that same opportunity, guys, okay? I appreciate that. Thank you for the subscribing if you haven't subscribed already. And speaking of subscription, I will, you know, once I meet the requirements, I will be putting up a subscription, how do you call it? Like a little, I guess, yeah, subscription. There's a certain word that it's not coming to me right now, but anyways, you guys know what I mean. So I'll be putting that on the channel. I haven't figured out the price, but I have an idea of the perks. I know for a fact we will do group, like monthly coaching together as a group, right? That for sure is going to be thrown in there. I just have to figure out what I'm going to do to make it worth way more than what it's worth, right? So, I mean, the coaching alone, that's already like a minimum $150 value. So that alone is already makes it worth it. But, you know, you're going to get way more than that, especially when, I start, changing around certain things like that. So, that being said, anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for liking the video. And those of you, if you end up getting coaching, I will reach out to you as soon as possible. Do you need it? No, but if you want to save time and you have the luxury of it, feel free to go for it, right? I tell everyone, you do not need to get coaching in order to be successful. I have so many success stories from just viewers alone, right? But that being said, I understand that coaching does help narrow things down for people, so Like I said in the beginning, feel free to get it if that's what you want. Do you need it? The answer is no. I will never push you guys to get it. I just let it known. I let it be known there if in case you guys want it. So I love you all very much. Thank you for listening, and expect more content out soon. Take care, guys.